Hi, it's Mitch from Pickdawgz.com here with your free pick in the Santa Clara versus Utah State college basketball matchup on Wednesday, December 13th, 2023. Of course, we do tons of free picks every day at Pickdawgz, but if you're looking for the games you like the best, those are the ones we put under the premium picks tab at Pickdawgz.com. You can use that discount code PICK to get 15% off. We also have Dime Club and Sharp Trading Plays meant for people who make big bets. If that's you, go ahead and text the number that you see on the screen. Not available on the website. You got to text that number. But let's get to this one. Santa Clara taking on Utah State. Utah State 9-1 on the season, but on the road 0-2 against the number. Their one loss took place on the road, 1-1 on the road this season. Meanwhile, Santa Clara 7-3 this season, 5-0 at home, but just 1-3 against the number. So what we have here is a team that does not cover spreads on the road against a team that does not cover spreads at home. And in fact, Santa Clara just 3-6 against the number this season, while Utah State 6-3 against the number. So basically 2/3 of their non-covers have come on the road. So spots just like this. We look at Utah State and how they got there, wins over San Diego and UC Irvine. So not bad teams, not the world beaters of the world. Irvine generally in March is a team to watch out for. A win over St. Louis, not the best St. Louis team we've seen. Stephen F. Austin, certainly a name brand, not just a novelty act anymore. They were 1-point favorites in that game, Utah State, and they won by 20-something points. It was 79-49. So actually, they won by 30 in that game. And then, wins over Marshall, who's having a terrible year this season, and some of the others. But Utah State, a team that we've seen in the Mountain West, play pretty strong just about every single year. Certainly not a pushover. Meanwhile, when we look at Santa Clara, they've lost 3 of their last 4 games, all against schools you would know. Losers to New Mexico. They were 9.5-point dogs against New Mexico. They were 2.5-point favorites against Cal. Lost by 15 in that game, and then the loss against Ohio State by 30, where they were a 6.5-point dog. That was coming off the heels of that win against Oregon. And, they played a tough schedule. Stanford as well. They played in that bunch and several others. So Santa Clara certainly hasn't backed down from anybody. And that always will serve you well when you play in, the West Coast Conference, where you're probably playing a lot better teams than, you've been play in the conference outside of Gonzaga. The thing is, we look at Utah State and they have the number 1 shooting offense in the nation, 53.2%, can absolutely light it up. From beyond the arc, not quite as good, 33.3%. Meanwhile, when we look at Santa Clara's defense, they actually defend the 3 okay, right in line with the national average, but defensively teams shoot 42% against them, which is better than what we've seen from many of the others that play Utah State. Santa Clara offense is pretty good, and while Utah State is good on the offensive end, they're certainly not bad on the defensive end either. And where they really D it up, I think where the good teams do from beyond the perimeter, teams shoot less than 28% against Utah State. I tell you, the line looks pretty small here, almost like they're baiting you to take Utah State here, who hasn't been covering on the road. But I think Utah State gets the first road cover of the season. I'm going to take Utah State, and that's going to be my free pick. Of course, while you're doing your picks, putting your bets in, use our free betting tools at sportschatplace.com. 100% free, and they'll help put you on the most favorable bets on the board today.